Yo, what's going on, gamers and exiles? Today's video, I'm gonna go over my new build I've been working on and cooking. This is the Ender Titan and Ender Slam, baby. You know it. This time, it is a from Quarterstaff, Falling Thunder. Like I said, work in progress. There are many things to, improve and work towards, but overall slams in this game, mainly from the mace, are very disappointing because most of them have built-in default attack time, which you cannot scale below the number, and most of it is like 1.5 seconds. That's super slow. But Falling Thunder is a slam that is not limited by attack time. You can scale it, as low as 0 seconds. Not really, but yeah, sky's the limit, right? My slam right now is 0.31 or 32 seconds, so it's much faster. It's super fast, as you can see. I'm using only Herald of Thunder. I'm gonna go over my setup. I use this for leveling since level 1 with Pillar of the Cage God. So the plan is to stack attributes. The plan is to get Hint Wisdom, which I have in this footage, but obviously they are available from level 52, so I leveled without them until then. Also, I'm using the Dragon Mask as the headpiece, which is available from level 45, but I used a Black Sun Crest for attributes during leveling because that's available from level 12, I think, or 16, so pretty early on. So overall, I'm very excited for this setup. It's much better than, like I said, any other slams. Now, there is a patch, or more like announcement on Sunday from GGG, where they will talk about the next big patch. So we'll see what kind of things will get nerfed and what not. But if things get nerfed even for this build, I will try my hardest to find a way to make it, still online. Still clapping and slapping. Now, Falling Thunder is 2 hits. First one is a slam on the ground, and second one are these lines on the ground. The big lines. That goes, if you have power charges, you will trigger that. The thing with these lines is, they go beyond the screen. They can actually go beyond the screen. It's crazy. There was a moment where I slammed the ground, with minions that were, apart from a rare pack. And as this line on the screen, you can see this one right here, as it, traveled through, it off-screened one-shot the rare mob. Like, that's kind of crazy. Once I get it down to get more power charges, it's kind of good. It's kind of fine, the power charging on like mobs in trash, but for single target might be a bit struggle later on. That's the only worry right now with this build, that once bosses get more tankier, it might be harder to keep up with power charges for charge staff, because that's where our electrocute comes from, but also to get the projectiles, right? Because projectiles do a lot of damage. Now, you will see 2 pretty stacked up jewels on this build, but you don't need those for leveling at all. That's just the extra sauce. So the expensive things, you could say, are the gloves and the jewels, right? But yeah, I'll talk about more about it later. I'm just gonna show you some of the footage and the boss as well here. So we start with Orb of Storms on the ground. This is going to be our rage generator, but also mana and HP, which I didn't use in this footage, but I will use it in the future. As I said, I keep upgrading the builds, updating stuff as well. So next up, we go Hand of Choil, as I just used now, because we have a couple of the stuff there. We have Voltaic Mark, which is amazing for shock, so much damage with that. And we have Enfeeble, and we have, I'm not even sure if Enfeeble works, to be honest. I don't see any debuff or any visual, because Voltaic Mark, for example, is a debuff on top of its head and not on this debuff bar. So we have that, and we also have the conductivity, as you can see, the debuff minus 30% resistances. So we freeze here with our Dragon Mask. I will talk about it later, or in a bit, how it works with the mask. And then there is a electrocute from the charge staff, but since I didn't have enough power charges here, I actually let them run out before the boss, as you can see. So I could have procced the charge staff. I would have more damage and whatnot. So not really full execution here on the boss, but I mean, this is an ag boss, right? So he doesn't really survive that much. So this build uses evasion. It also helps if you have blind effect on the target. I do have it from the jewel, this blind effect, which makes them lower their accuracy, so makes the mobs harder to hit you. So yeah, this is just some showcase on the screen. Now, I will have a full build in Mobalytics. I will put it in the description, and with some text on that, with jewels, with gems and all that, passive tree and all the stuff. This is I'm level 64 right now, so this tree is for 64, okay? So I'm gonna take you in the game, and we're gonna talk about some of the good things right here. So first things, we go over the gems. Falling Thunder. Like I said, the reason why I picked this is because it's slam and there's no total attack time like most Titan ability slams have. Like, let's say, do I have like Rolling Slam here somewhere? I even have fully 6 links Rolling Slam. But yeah, most slams have this right here. That means you cannot go below this, right? Will not be modified by skill use speed stats. Trash. So this bad boy wins the race over slams. 60% of this is converted to lightning. So we still have 40% of physical on the first hit. And the second hit is the projectile, which gives you multiplicative damage per power charge consumed. And it converts the full physical into lightning damage. Quality of this bad boy, 10% do not remove charges on top of this support gem we have. So it's 45% chance to not consume the charge, which is very good. That's one of the support gems. We get Martial Tempo for attack speed, very good stuff. Now lightning penetration for, for obvious reasons. And then Aftershock. So the goal here is to play Aftershocks with this support gem and the Ascendancy, which I don't have right now or in the footage. Earthbreaker, 20% more, so that's 45% for Aftershocks. And once I get full Ascendancy, I will drop probably the life here, 15%, and put 4 points in here. Not only for the AoE is super good, but also for the empowerment, which is gonna give you 20% multiplicative damage and then area of effect. If it says more right here, this is far better than if it was saying increased. Increased is plus additive and more is X multiplicative, much better. So that's the goal for this build. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Next up, we got Infernal Cry. So I do incorporate fire damage in my build as well. Here we get Premeditation for more damage, 15% again, it's multiplicative. Ingenuity for cooldown reduction. My shout is 5.7 seconds cooldown. Raging Cry for rage gain, because rage is again multiplicative damage, and rage is very slept on, like Berserk. The aura with rage stacking is really insanely strong. I use it on my main. Some of you might know me from the Earthquake bar Titan, so you can check it out as well in the right up corner. There's a new technique for that. It's pretty crazy. And this is life tap to convert to life cost because it's pretty expensive. Now it's 200 life. If it was mana, super expensive, right? Orbital Storms, once again, this is just to generate rage, mana, and also blood. Very, very good. I would like to get more AoE here, but we'll see about that. Hand of Cholula, this is the debuffer on the target. So conductivity, less lightning resistance on top of lightning penetration here. Good stuff. I did not have this on the boss I just showcased, I believe. I got it later, I'm not sure. Next up, Enfeeble, to some mobs do less damage to you. Hidden Curse to support the curses to, be even stronger. And then we got Voltaic Mark, which is a good stuff for shocking. I need to quality these bad boys up. I need to get Enfeeble, I need to get Conductivity, I need to quality a lot of stuff. So yeah, this is shock is more effective, and it's really crazy. The damage with this bad boy, crazy. Now if you kill a target with the mark up, there is going to be like Lightning Nova. So if there is a big pack and there is a rare in the middle, you just use this. You just use Hand of Cholula. It's a charge. It's a little dash to the target. So literally you can dash to the target in the middle of the pack, rare mob, and then one-shot it. Boom, it's gonna proc Lightning Nova. Good stuff. Charge Staff, it's a buff for your attacks, give you flat lightning damage. And it's gonna increase with power charge consumed. I have 3 power charges, so 3 stacks of this bad boy. Quality this one up as well for more duration. And with that, I do use Persistence for more duration. And next up is Lightning Infusion for more lightning damage. That less fire damage, cold, it doesn't really matter. About the tech, I'm gonna show you in a second. And then second one, you got Electrocute. So we have 2 ways of CC. We got Freeze and we got Electrocute. And this falls into the power charge segment I'm gonna talk about right now. So we got Combat Frenzy. This will give you Frenzy Charge every time we freeze, electrocute, or pin. We have 2 of these CCs. We also add Perfusion for 50% chance to get additional charge. And we get Cannibalism for sustain on trash mobs. Good stuff, really good. And then later on maps as I finish acts, as I haven't yet. I'm in Act 3. So Combat Frenzy, giving Frenzy Charge with all these CCs. Why am I getting power charges? There is a passive called Resonance, and this will give you power charges instead of Frenzy Charges. So that's what we get for Charge Staff, and we get it for the projectile from Falling Thunder right here, right? That's one other thing. On single target, I find a way to get better stacks for power charge. I did not like Lingering Illusion. I didn't like that, so I need to explore that even more. These were the power charges. Now, how do we freeze and electrocute? Like I said, Charge Staff, electrocute. We have this bad boy right here. How do we freeze is we have this headpiece, 3 dragons. Now, fire damage contributes to shock and lightning contributes to freeze. And then cold damage contributes to ignite, but we don't really have this. So we have fire and we have lightning. Where do we have fire from? You need to get flat fire damage on the rings or gloves. So I have this on the ring. It's very high roll, tier 8. I don't think you need such a high roll. So get it on the ring, flat fire damage. I also have a jewel called Against the Darkness. This gives you fire damage 2%. You can see it's very low roll. It's the lowest roll. So this one can easily be, you can buy this one for 1 divine. I actually dropped 1 divine during leveling. So, this was basically for free for me. So you can obviously get 4%. I was unable to get it. And max life, you want to put it here because it's very cracked. But you also don't need this jewel, all right? You don't need this. You can forget about this. Since our Falling Thunder is still 40% physical, you can just grab this bad boy, Burning Strikes, which is what I was running until I got this jewel, because I got this jewel, basically a couple hours ago. So I haven't played with it that much. So you can get Burning Strikes. They will still give you some fire damage. And with this, you will be able to proc together with the flat fire damage the 3 dragons, the first line. Now we also use Infernal Cry, which is fire damage as well on the attacks. And the goal here, because this gives you of the damage is fire damage, right? 25%, and this gets increased for each power around you. And the power is like, you can read it in the game. You get 1 power per normal mob, 2 for magic, 5 for rare, and 20 for unique, up to 100%. So this is pretty crazy bonus, right? That's why our damage is really good on the initial hit on the bosses. Yes, it gives you 20 unique power. I want to get this node here as well. So not only this increases so much damage, because we're running Titan, we have Hulking Form, but this gives you so much damage. So I want to get Vocal Empowerment, but that's another ways to get fire damage. And lightning damage contributes to freeze. I mean, our skill is lightning itself. And with this freeze, we are proccing the Herald of Ice like crazy. You hit him up, it explodes. You could see that in the footage. This is going to be crazy for mapping as well once I enter the end game. Really wild. Again, the patch is coming on the Sunday from GGG. They might announce that this is getting removed from the game for all I know, but I'll try to make it work either way. So that's how we get charges. That's how we proc the headpiece. That's how we explode enemies and stuff like that. Another auras we have is Overwhelming Presence. This is going to be great for Element Threshold. This is for this is going to reduce the resistance of mobs to be able to resist freeze or electrocute, right? It's easier for you to freeze and electrocute mobs. How about that? All right. So we get this one. And stun threshold, we don't care about that. Even though the charge staff does stun. I mean, the Falling Thunder, the first, the 40% of physical does stun, but that's whatever. Wind Dancer, that's for evasion. You can actually stand still. I was testing this. This is a buff. When they destroy it, when they hit you, they get hit as well, the mobs that is. And with this combo with Herald of Ice and the flat damage here, it does add to Wind Dancer, and they can basically kill themselves hitting you. It's pretty crazy. I tested it on 3 mobs so far, and yeah, just standing still, I wasn't doing nothing. Hands off coach, above the keyboard, and they died. Another goal here for Charge Staff is I want to add Lightning Exposure. I want to get Strip Away, these 2 combined. So I'm not sure if this really stacks with Conductivity though. Isn't that the same thing? Well, not really too sure, because this is lowering the resistances, right? Yeah. So maybe that's why this wasn't proccing on the Orb of Storm. I don't know. Anyway, I just want to get the Strip Away, at least if it would work with the Conductivity. Or maybe I want to slap it on Hand of Chola, but as you can see, it's a lot of links. So that was the gems. Going over the gear, like this gear is very cheap. This staff is super cheap. If you are running on the budget, you can get attack speed corrupted instead of lightning damage, because this was like 60 exalts, I believe, for this one, because it's it's almost the highest lightning damage, but you can get attack speed. The headpiece, I'm not sure how much it is. I dropped it. I have like 2 pieces now, so I'm not sure, but I was using the Black Suncrest during leveling for the attributes, which is very good as well, as it gives a lot of attributes. Where's the bad boy? We got him. Wait, excuse me. I don't have it. That's a bit awkward. No, I don't see it. Did I put it somewhere in here? Oh, right here. Yeah, that's what I was using. Increased stats and armor. Yeah. Another one is Hand of Wisdom. This is probably this is expensive item. I bought mine for 5 divines because this is higher intelligence. But on the other hand, my friend today was telling me on stream in my chat that he bought the same max roll intelligence for 2 divines. But yeah, you can obviously run without the gloves. If you can get yourself a pair of gloves with flat lightning and flat fire, you're mad chillin'. Like mad chillin'. You can also get like life, resistances, intelligence. You can get attack speed, melee skills. Melee skills do so much, by the way, for DPS. It is amazing. So melee skills, don't sleep on that. Ideally, if you don't have these gloves, you want to get melee skills on gloves and amulet. So there we go. Now the amulet here, good for attributes. You want to stack attributes, right? You want to stack this for the staff. And so we get some spirit here. Max energy shield evasion. Max life attributes fire res. My resistances are not looking the best. I need to improve it. On the chest piece here, it's whatever I dropped, honestly. Like this is just dropped during leveling. I'll stick with it. Life, spirit to enable me to run the auras. No resistances here. Attribute requirements, that's useless. Intelligence is good. On the rings here, again, life, attributes, flat damage, resistances. That's how I would go about it. Obviously, ideally, later on you want the breach rings because quality on breach rings can go to 50%. So that can go really crazy. I had a good one with flat damage, but I cannot find it. Yeah, anyways, you see the attributes on this bad boy with 50% modifier? Wild. But yeah, this is the other ring for double attributes, life, flat fire. I mainly took this for the flat fire. On the belt here, life, double res. You can get some armor, I guess, but armor we know is absolutely useless. On the boots, movement speed, your number 1 thing, then resistances will be number 2 thing. It's good stuff as well. On the charm, I'm running immune to stun. You can go rarity though, or freeze. I actually rolled pretty good with both of these. Potions increase recovery and charges per second. I find simply the best for both mana and life. I think I dropped this with quality even. So there was the gear. That was the tech. On the back bar, you can see I have a modern hander with a shield because I was using shield charge for mobility, but with shield charge, your charge staff buff or power charges disappear. So I don't really recommend it, but yeah, it's good for blocking, right? Good for drip. So that was pretty much it. Now the rotation, I talked about it in the planner on mobilities, but you want to start with Aura Storm. You want to put a hint of Chayula, the debuffs on the target, go with Infernal Cry and start slamming the ground, right? When you freeze or electrocute, you will generate power charges. You want to get the charge staff and then just keep slamming, right? Now, yeah, like I said, the only problem that I can see happening is not having enough power charges on the single target, so I will try to figure that one out. Have I showed everything? Did I show you Herald of Ice, the support gems? I don't think I did. Forgive me if I haven't. But Magnified Effect for AoE, Elemental Focus for big damage. We don't really care about elements. We got Primal Armament here for more damage, and Clarity for the mana regen for better sustain. Let me think if I missed something in the build. Talk about power charges. I talked about how this works. And oh, the skill tree, my bad. So Titan, once again, hulking form, 50% of small passives, ridiculously strong, really OP. With this bad boy and this life, you can play any build on this Ascendancy, dude. Not gonna lie. And then you can also have armor once they fix it. Surely. Live here, eventually, next Ascendancy, I will drop this and go for Ancestral Empowerment. That's gonna be sick. I wonder if the lightning will be red. Because this does highlight slams with red. So I ignored the beginning here. I went for attributes. I went here for the big beefy strength node. Continued heat on the path. I went this way because I eventually want to get empowerments here. And I might go blood magic, but I'm not sure. We'll see about that. So by the empowerment here is what I wanted. And it's also a really short way. Like if you go on the outer edge, it's a very short way to go around the tree. Very few nodes compared to like if you were to go to the middle here or here, right? It's a lot of nodes investment. Might go for brute strength if I decide to go for blood magic, right? But we shall see about that. Next up, I go with this bad boy, but you don't need this jeweler right now. That's more for endgame. So I went polymathy for attributes 10%. This also is very good since we're stacking the attributes here. The lowest one will be picked and give you 2% damage per 5 of lowest attributes. That's a lot of damage. I believe I got like 3000 DPS on Falling Thunder. It's wild. Next up, while I was leveling, I was still going for all the attributes while leveling, all the way for attributes. I went here for evasion and dexterity. After I leveled, I went still here, and you basically want to rush resonance, right? You basically want to rush that. After that, I went for Falcon Technique. I went for the Wild Storm, another great combination for lightning damage. And the reason why I will not go for crit chance is Wild Storm is maximum lightning damage, which is amazing. Because when you hit, the damage roll will be rolling between minimum damage and maximum damage, right? So we have more maximum damage. And with this is combined lucky hits. Non-crits will be lucky, which means lucky will roll twice the damage you do. And it will pick the highest damage number. This on average apparently is about 40% damage increase. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's really crazy. So that's what I picked after for the damage. I'm still missing Falcon Dive for more attack speed. So I'm gonna go accuracy, attack damage, and boom. So that's gonna help things as well. Now, if they fix armor, and when armor will be good, or if armor will be good, I'll go with armor reflexes. No problem. Because you can just go with evasion rating gear. Also want to get Sand in the Eyes for attack speed, also blind. Blind is really good. It causes 20% less accuracy and evasion rating on the targets. 4 seconds. It's really good. Since we are playing evasion, then you know, it depends on the target's accuracy, attacker's accuracy. It goes hand in hand, right? So that would be the skill tree. Anything else I wanted to go for? Oh, eventually for endgame, I want to run Berserk. And with Berserk, I'm going to show you briefly what it does. Because I am running that on Warrior, and it is really absolutely insane. I'm a big fan. Let me grab a Spirit Gem right here. Berserk, right, boom. This will magnify Rage up to 53, up to 60% if you can get level 20 Berserk. And Rage gives you, more attack damage. Now, attack damage is not only physical. They can deal any damage type. So this does not include only physical attacks like most people think. And that's why they think Rage is dog, right? Is bad. It's not. It only doesn't work for spells, right? So I want to use that. It gives you Leech for each stack, but Leech is like, I don't know, I don't really like that. This doesn't matter. The losing life, that's all right. We can do that with life regen and whatnot. So I want to grab that. And with this, it combines to get max rage here. Like, you know, get 3, 3, 3, and 8. Ridiculous, man. The damage you can get through rage is wild. Now for normal jewels, so what you want to go for, movement speed, attack speed, lightning damage, quarterstaff damage, all that stuff is very good. I got some blind here, procs very often. It's pretty good. On the rubies, I would want to get the rage on hit and max rage. I have those on my main, so that's kind of lucky. But it does have armor, yikes. On the Warcry stuff as well, very good. Warcry cooldown, you know, that's very good as well. Empowered attacks deal more damage, 20%. More fire damage, yeah, it's pretty good. It is actually pretty good, these jewels. If you can get flat fire damage on rings and jewelry, it's pretty good. More AoE is also good. Rage on melee hit, rage on hit, not bad. Fire penetration, melee damage, and so ignite, not bad. Now another jewel that you can aim for. So the first one is Against the Darkness with fire damage and life, or intelligence. Intelligence will be better, but I'm a life addict, so yeah, for each small node I get 1% life, which is ridiculous with the amount of small nodes here. Most of them are even usable. The only ones that are not usable is this side and this side. Everything else I can take. And we get fire damage for the big ones, 2%. It's the lowest one, but it's cheap. And up top, I bought this for 1 divine as well. So this bad boy lets you pick from within the small ring. This goes from very small up to massive. Now, very few people use very small and small ring. Now, both of these are applicable on this path, and both of these will let you allow picking spaghettification. I know the name is absolutely boosted, I love it, but 10% increase attributes with polymathy, 10% at 17% increase attributes. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. Chaos Res minus 13%. You can get a plus 10% Chaos Res from third act in Cruel. That's what I picked. You can kind of like, negate this bad boy, so that's okay. And more movement speed, chaos damage, whatever, but yeah, I would put this here. Controlled Metamorph. Problem is, you cannot really search for this on the trade. Unlucky. But yeah, I believe that was pretty much it. Sorry the video was a bit long. I could go on forever about this, but any updates, I will probably make a separate video as an update to this one, similar to what I did on Titan, on my main before. You can check it out as well, by the way, and I'll keep working on this. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. I stream every day on Twitch and YouTube. I hope to see some of you there. But thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it greatly. And I'll see you soon. All right, how about that? Until next time, have a good one and peace.